Hello everybody, this is Har-En bringing you guys another commentary of Bloons TD battles. Now most of you are probably wondering, what in the world is this TOC2 thingy? TOC2, what is that? Well, basically, TOC2 stands for Tournament of Champions number 2. It's a tournament that I made, a Bloons TD battles flash tournament that I made. I allowed people to sign up and play. There were 40 people in this tournament, and basically, what I did was for the first round of the tournament, I made two groups of 20 people each, and each group of 20 players had to face against all other 19 players in their group. And then in each group, the top 8 players moved on to the next round. And from then on, those 16 players kept playing in the tournament in a single elimination style. So one player will face against another player, the winner of that would move on to the next round, pretty much like that. So I know that it's been pretty long since this tournament started in, I believe, July, and now we're here in December and it's barely finishing. But this video shows the final series of the Tournament of Champions. Now, before I go on further, if you want to see all the battles in this Tournament of Champions number 2, click on the video below. It will, not the video, click below, there will be an annotation there to go to a playlist with all the recorded games, so you can watch every single battle recorded of this tournament. So here in the final round, we have two really good players, Nikitin and Tricosaurus. So let me tell you a little bit about them. Nikitin actually won the Tournament of Champions number 1 against Mo Money. Now Mo decided not to join this tournament. I don't know why, but he just didn't. But Nikitin, he won that tournament and he beat Mo 4-1. And Mo's a really good player, so Nikitin is really good. However, the disadvantage that Nikitin has is that in these past few months he really hasn't played that much. He's been in university, and he's actually mostly the reason why we've had to wait this long for this series, because he's been busy for a really long time. So he hasn't had that much practice. Plus, I've heard that ever since the August sabotage supply lines nerf, his gameplay has gotten a little bit worse since he can't use the sabotage supply lines as much anymore, which really helped him in the past. Now, as for Tricosaurus, he's also a really good player, but he's one of those players that's he sort of goes on and off at times. Like sometimes I feel like he's a really good player, he plays extremely well, and then other times he's just not that good. He's an average player. Now him and me, I would say that Trico is the better player, but the series I've had against him, we've pretty much tied. So yeah. Now I'm sorry for the quality of this video. It was sent by Tricosaurus, so there's nothing I can do about this quality, but hopefully it's not too bad. I think that's all I have to say, so enjoy the rest of the series. So here we are in game 1. Now, just to let you guys know, I have actually not watched any of these games before, so I have no idea what's going to happen. So just to let you know, Nikitin is actually playing on his main account, which is Zero Monkey. Nikitin is actually his alternate account, but everyone calls him Nikitin. But so both players are doing very similar starts, but Tricosaurus has a farm and Nikitin most likely does not have a farm, because Nikitin is just one of those players, well, one of the only players who doesn't ever go farms. He just loves his Bloon Eco for some reason. He's really good at using Bloon Eco. That's probably why he likes to use it. But anyway, both players send pinks, and both players get up their 0-0 ninjas along with their 2-1 ninjas to easily defend. So Tricosaurus is just going to get up a 2-0 farm, hopefully. Well, he will get it soon. And round 6 is, yep, he gets it. And round 6 is coming soon. So both players do need the Burning Stuff Mortar to defend the blacks, and you can either get another 0-0 ninja or sell that 0-0 ninja to get a 3-1 ninja. So Trico gets the 3-1 ninja, and Nikitin, actually, wow, Nikitin didn't even do anything and he survived that. But it's because Nikitin knows that Tricosaurus, he can't really continue rushing with blacks, or else his farm income is going to be super low. So it's round 8, and round 8 is actually pretty deadly well, not deadly, but dangerous because of regrow blacks, whites, and yellows. So will either player choose to send that? Nicotine just sends regrow blacks layered with yellows, and Trico does have to get up that 3-0 boomerang to defend that, and that also increased Nicotine's income, so that was pretty good for him. And Tricosaurus rushes back with some regrow whites, and Nicotine has to get up that 3-0 boomerang. Now he also sends some regrow leads with that, but that won't do much damage. So Tricosaurus' farm income is actually a little bit lower than what it should be, but it's not horrible. But it appears that he cannot fit that 4th farm down there, which might cost him, since he will have to start getting those 3-0 farms, which are slightly less cost efficient than the 2-0 farms. So it's round 13, and will either player rush? It appears not, because Nicotine is well prepared for the round 13 rush with 3 boomerangs. But will anyone rush round 15 with Regal Ceramics? Oh, and Trico sends Regal Ceramics, but Nicotine gets up that 4-2 ninja right in time. Will Nicotine send anything right back to Tricosaurus? He sends some Space Rainbows, which does force Tricosaurus to get up that 4-2 ninja to defend it. So Trico's income is, farm income is actually a little bit low, because right now I would have 4 farms, and one of those farms is 3-0 while the rest is 2-0. But I mean, he couldn't fit that last farm, so that's probably what cost him. So it's round 18, and typically players don't send Moabs on round 18, but Tricosaurus does decide to send it. So what will Nicotine do to defend this? He can either upgrade the ninja, which he does, or the other choice, which would be to get a bionic boomer. But Nicotine chose to get the Sable instead, which I honestly don't know how he afforded that, because Sable was nerfed, and along with that, well, I mean, he's really got a balloon income, so of course he could afford it. Nicotine's a god at this game, pretty much. So Trico decides to send a BFB at Nicotine, and Nicotine reveals his 4th tower, which is the Dart Monkey. And now this is big trouble for Tricosaurus, because with the Dart Monkey, if your micro is good enough, which Nicotine's micro is insanely good, you can defend almost infinite BFBs on round 20. And as you can see right there, he uses the Hyper Juggernaut exploit to defend those BFBs. And this is why the Dart Monkey is a really good tower if you know how to use Eco properly. And Trico is struggling to defend that AI Moab, and he does barely defend it. But Tricosaurus has no farms left, so he has no income left, and Nicotine appears to just obliterate that rush. So Tricosaurus, one last attempt, sends some fast cooldown Moabs, and Nicotine just completely obliterates it. Oh my god, I saw some leaks, but it looks like Nicotine did not leak, and Tricosaurus is going to die in this game despite his counter rush. So good game. It appears that Nicotine is going to win this one. So it is a 1-0 lead for Nicotine in this best of 7 series. Will Nicotine repeat his glory in this tournament like he did in the Tournament of Champions 1? Well, we'll see, and let's move on to game number 2. So as the loser of the series, Trico has chosen the map Temple. So right now both players are using different strategies. Tricosaurus is using the Bomb Ninja strategy, while Nicotine is going with the Ice strategy. So typically when players go Ice, they're gonna get a lot of balloon income, unless they use the Outlet strategy, which is Ice and Farm, which surprisingly works really well if you know how to use it. But Nicotine doesn't use Farm, so he is clearly going to use income, and he loses lives. Whoa, that is bad for him, because this is still King of the Hill rules, so on round 40, whoever has the most lives wins the game. So that means that Nicotine is going to be forced to rush Tricosaurus if Trico does not lose any more lives. And typically, if you're using balloon income, rushing, if you're using balloon income and you have to rush, that's bad news, because normally if you want to rush, you use farms. But Trico's losing a little bit of lives, and will he get lower than 140? He does not. So Tricosaurus still has more lives than Nicotine, as for now. So that means that Nicotine will end up having to rush Tricosaurus if he wants to win this game. But as you can see, both pairs are using completely different strategies. Tricosaurus is using farm income, Nicotine's using balloon income. Tricosaurus' main popping power is cannon, while Nicotine's main popping power, well, now it's cannon, but it was ice tower before. So right now Trico's getting up his farms, and Nicotine is just building more and more income, while sending rainbows, hoping to make Trico lose lives, and he is getting dangerously close to getting lower lives than Nikitin, which would be bad news for Trigosaurus, because right now he has a huge advantage of making Nikitin having to rush him late game. Because Bloon Eco players should not have to rush, because you tend to get less money to rush when you have Bloon income. So yeah, it's near round 18, so if Nikitin actually sends a Moab or something, then Trico will go be down in lives if he can't successfully defend. Which, I mean, having a life advantage is good, especially on a longer map like Temple. So right now it's almost round 20. Round 20 can be dangerous because ceramics come. And whoa, Trico already has his 4-2 farm, but ceramics come. Will Trico defend the ceramics? Yes, he does. So currently Trigosaurus still has more lives than Nikitin. So that means that Nikitin is going to have to rush sooner or later. But it looks like Nikitin has no plans to rush because he is still sending income. Well, he's actually only sending short bursts of income, because if Trico decides to rush, then Nikitin should have enough money to defend. But oh my goodness! Trigosaurus loses lives and he lost that huge advantage that he had. His advantage was that, I mean, if he had a life advantage, then Nikitin would be forced to rush against a farmer, which is not good. But now Trico is going to be the one who has to rush against Nikitin. And as I said, Nikitin is a godly defender. He can defend almost anything that you send at him. So, I mean, this is bad news for Trico, but hopefully he does well. Oh, Nikitin gets super close to losing lives. He has 2 Bloon Jitsus at the very end, catching those last second ceramics. But so both players are struggling against the AI right now, but they're barely surviving. But I mean, as long as they survive, they're fine. So Trigosaurus has a pretty decent amount of farms right now. By round 31, if he has 5, then he's pretty solid. Now, a good time for a farmer to rush on this map will be around round 35. So round 35 is a good time to rush, and it looks like both players are just saving up money right now. Trico's saving up a bunch of money to send a huge rush, and Nikitin's saving up money to defend, and Trico keeps losing lives. Now, from experience, late game on this map, if you're going farms, it is hard to defend if you're saving money to defend and rush. So I understand what Trico's going through. It is hard to defend on this map. But as you can see, Nikitin is building up all those molders, and there is the first ZOMG from Tricosaurus. Now, he only sends 1 right now, and there a second one comes out. So he sent the rush rather earlier than I said. I said around 35. He sent it early 34, late 33. But as of now, Nikitin should easily defend the round 34-ish ZOMGs. But the point of that is to make Nikitin worried or something. Well, I'm pretty sure it's to make him worried. But then when round 36 and 37 comes out, those ZOMGs are strong. Around round 38, you literally cannot beat round 38, late 38 or 39 Moabs. So what you have to do, I mean not Moabs, ZOMGs. So what you have to do is just stall like crazy. And that is what Nikitin is doing. He is mortar stalling the crap out of every single one of those ZOMGs. Those Moabs, he's barely defending with those Bloon Jitsus at the end. He's mortar stalling every single ZOMG with all the power he has, and they're getting dangerously close. But the thing is, if he pops that ZOMG there and gets down to BFBs, then what happens is that he can actually stall the BFB there. Oh my god, a ZOMG is going through. Is it actually going through, or was that lag? A ZOMG is going through. Will it go through and kill Nikitin? It looks like, oh, it went through, but he is alive. So that was actually lag, and apparently that ZOMG layer popped. And if it pops, then you can infinitely stall the BFB layer if your micro is fast enough. So it looks like Nikitin is leaking a lot of these Moabs, but that's actually really lag. And Trico, whoa, Trico died to that. Wow, Trico died to the round 39 natural blooms. And I mean, as I was saying, I'm not sure if Nikitin would have defended that or not, because there was a lot of lag going on. I mean, it looked like a lot of balloons went through, but apparently not. So I'm not sure if there were actually more balloons that were really gonna go through. But I mean, I don't know. But either way, Nikitin won that game. It is 2-0 in this best of 7 series. So Nikitin just has to win 2 more games to win this entire tournament. Will he be able to do that? I don't know, but let's move on to game number 3. So Trico picks Snowy Castle for the next map. So Trico is going to use a boat, and so is Nikitin. So right now I'm not sure. Well, I mean, I know Nikitin's going to use Balloon Income, but I'm not sure about Trico. Is he going to use Balloon Income or is he going to go farms? That is a really interesting thing, because if Trico is going to use farms, then lives aren't going to be that important to him. But if he's using Balloon Eco, then lives are going to be important to him. And Trico did lose a life, so if he's going farms, that won't be a big deal. If he's going Balloon Income, that will hurt him. So Trico actually is going to send some pinks with those blues, and he is actually going to, it looks like he is stopping income right there. So yep, he does have farms. So Tricosaurus with his farms, he will have to rush Nikitin around round 20 or around 25 or somewhere around there, because if he doesn't, it's really hard to survive late game if you have farms. So he will have to rush. Also, he can rush round 13. I've seen players like Thunderstruck. He's rushed with farms. He sends like a $10,000 Regal Rainbow Rush around 13, and surprisingly, a Ring of Fire cannot handle that. So it does surprise and kill a lot of noblemen in King of the Hill. So I don't know if Trico's planning to do that, but I wouldn't do that because Nikitin is a really good defender, and he probably knows about that round 13 rush. So Trico's probably going to get creative around round 20 and try to kill Nikitin there. So both players get the Ring of Fire on round 8, and both players are building up their income, but different kinds of income. So Trico with 3 2-0 farms, which is pretty good for this map, and Nikitin, I have no idea what his income is because I have not been paying attention to his balloon sends. But I mean, because it's Nikitin, I'm guessing it's around 800 or something by now. So will Tricosaurus send that round 13 rush? It looks like he is getting ready to sell the farm, or is he just? Oh, he's just going to upgrade that farm. Okay. And both players get the Buccaneer to defend round 15. Now, if you're using Buccaneers, then you also have to get the Camel upgrade for the Buccaneer, because if Nikitin just decides to send Camel Ceramics, then Trico will have problems. And yep, Trico does get that Camel upgrade, and he's getting, oh wow, he has 2 3-0 farms. That's really good for this map. And Nikitin is just settling with those 2 boats right there. But I'm pretty sure he also has Ninja, so if Trico does decide to send some Camel Ceramics, then he will get some ninjas up to defend that. So to defend round 18 Moabs, you either spam a ton of boats, or you get another Ring of Fire, or you get a Maelstrom. And it looks like Nikitin's gonna get another Ring of Fire, but oh my god, a lot of balloons go through, and that will cause Nikitin a lot of damage. And what's funny is that I've never seen 2 Ring of Fires in the middle. Oh my god, Trico sent a ton of, I can't even talk, and Nikitin made me, oh my god, my commentary was horrible right there. But pretty much what happened was Trico sent a ton of Regal Ceramics against Nikitin's 2 Ring of Fires. And I mean, from experience, I know if 1 Ring of Fire can't handle Regal Rainbows on that map, then 2 Rings of Fire, even with boats, can't handle that many ceramics. I know it's amazing, but they just can't handle it. So Nikitin did, I mean, if I saw correctly, Nikitin did get up 1 or 2 Maelstroms to successfully defend, but he only had 3 lives left, and pretty much a few lives from the remaining balloons after the Maelstrom killed him. So Trico did manage to win that game. It is a 2-1 lead for Nikitin right now. And since Nikitin lost that game, he gets to choose what map is going to be picked in game number 4. Nikitin chooses Volcano. And Volcano is Nikitin's favorite map. A lot of people do know that. In fact, Nikitin is so good at Volcano. I don't think I've actually ever seen him lose on this map. He's just that good at it. And I mean, he's good at it because, well, he's good at it. But it just seems like people don't really know how to play this map that well. I mean, well, first off, okay, against Nikitin on this map, if you use farms, you're pretty much dead, because if you use farms, you will struggle to defend the natural balloons, you'll lose lives, you'll end up having to rush Nikitin, and Nikitin, being the great defender he is, will defend whatever rush you send. And if you don't use farms and you go for attack, then you will still have to rush him, and he will still defend it, and he won't rush you, and you will either lose if you lose lives, or if you both stay at 150 lives, it will remain a draw. Because Nikitin won't lose lives on this map, he's just that good at it. So what his strategy, just don't lose lives, and Nikitin either waits until round 40 or he waits to be rushed and will easily defend that rush. So it's almost impossible to beat Nikitin on this map. And now with that Ring of Fire on round 6, it's impossible to make Nikitin leak until round 12 or 13 or anything like that. So it looks like Trico is going to use farms. So that's, well, I mean, that's Trico's versus play. He's going to use farms. I like to use farms on this map too. But, I mean, I don't play on this map that much. I'm not even that good at this map. Volcano is just one of those awkward maps. Like, I don't know. The map itself is just so awkward. It's the awkwardness that just makes it hard. I mean, look at that. Trico's losing lives right now to blacks, even though he has 4 ninjas to pop them. That's just how awkward the positioning of towers on this map is. So Trico does get up a mortar, but he doesn't get it to 0-2 by round 10. So if Nikitin did rush with some regrow leads, it could have caused some problems for Trico, but he didn't. Trico is going to send some camo pinks. Will Trico send that huge regrow rainbows to try to kill Nikitin? Oh, Nikitin's going to rush, and Trico can't do anything about it. Trico, whoa, my goodness, he dies. Wow, that was only 3 sets of regrow rainbows by Nikitin, and it looked like that 3 sets was just so little. Trico underestimated it. He didn't sell any farms, he didn't do anything. He just moved his mortar around and begged that it didn't regrow farm. Well, actually, Trico didn't move his mortar, because if he did, Nikitin could have sent camels right after that, and Trico would have died to the camels. So Trico left the mortar at the start of the path, but that allowed the regrows to regrow into more balloons. So he had to make a decision, you know, like so what he did, he let the balloons regrow in case any camels came. But if he moved the mortar to the regrows to stop them from regrowing, then camels could have came, and the camels probably would have killed him. But either way, very sneaky attack by Nikitin. I don't think Trico expected that rush at all, and that's why he didn't sell any farms, because he underestimated that tiny rush. But apparently, I mean, the awkwardness of this map, it just allows balloons to go by so easily. So well played by Nikitin. He is up 3-1 in this series. So all he has to do is win one more game, and if he wins one more game, he will be crowned the champion of this tournament. So let's see what Trico thinks of that. Trico chooses indoor pools for game number 5. And it looks like Trico is going to use tack shooter and ninja. Well, Nikitin's going to use ice, because ice is really good for balloon income on pretty much all maps except for Hydro Dam, because you can't fit, there's no really good ice placements on Hydro Dam except maybe the very start of the map, but other than that, it's pretty much useless. So both players start off by sending balloon income, but I believe that Trico will switch over to farms around round 6 or somewhere around there. And Nikitin's ice timing is pretty good. He is successfully defending all those pinks, and Nikitin is choosing not to send any pinks against Trico. So just using those blues to try to make him leak. And Trico gets up his first farm. So he gets up a farm, and he gets up another tack shooter to defend the round 6 greens and blacks, which can be pretty dangerous if layered properly. So Nikitin's pretty much set. He can defend pinks, but I don't know why. Well, Trico's probably just sending blacks to either mess up with the ice timing or just try to send a little bit of balloon income and try to get the farms later, one or the other. But Nikitin's trying to make Trico lose some lives by layering greens and blacks, and Trico gets up the Ring of Fire. Will Nikitin get up his Ring of Fire, because he has a Ring of Fire. There's no really other good tower that matches well with ice. But it looks like he is not going to get up the Ring of Fire yet, because he's using ninjas to defend those whites, which is a pretty good way to do it. And it looks like for round 10 he will get no Ring of Fire yet, but he will have to get up that Ring of Fire sooner or later, and he does now, but he leaks a lot of lives while doing so. So both players get up their mortar, and I don't think any player will decide to rush on round 13 because, well, Rings of Fire do really well against Regal Rainbow Rushes. So what Nikitin is doing is he's using ice to stall rainbows and ceramics, which is a really good strategy. So they're pretty much infinitely stalled. And Trico is going to use the Bloom Jitsu to defend ceramics. But Trico's going to send Camo ceramics, and that's the ice's weakness. Ice cannot stall the Camos, and Nikitin dies to that. Really good play by Tricosaurus, because Nikitin's practically only ceramic popping power or ceramic staller was the ice. And since ice cannot pop or freeze Camos, the Camos just snuck through the ice, and the ninjas couldn't handle all those ceramics because Nikitin didn't expect that, and he got the Bloom Jitsu. Well, I don't know if he did get up the Bloom Jitsu upgrade, but if he got up the Bloom Jitsu, then he got it up too late, and that's what led to his death. So it is 3-2 in favor, still in favor of Nikitin, but Trico's catching up. It is 3-2. So Nikitin needs 1 game to win, and Trico needs 2 games to win. Who will be crowned champion of this tournament? Let's find out in game 6. And Nikitin chooses Zen Garden for this game. So Nikitin's going for the Buccaneer, and Trico's going for the regular Ninja start. And Ninja Mortar start, and Nikitin's just gonna get up another boat, I suppose. And Trico's just gonna send a few blues, and it looks like he gets the farm up right away. So pretty good strategy by him to get up a farm right away. I don't know why, but I typically wait until round 4 or sometime around there to get on my farm. I'm not sure which way it's better, but I mean, a strategy is a strategy. If you can use one strategy better, then use it. So Nikitin's going to layer some pinks with his blues, just to try to make Trico scared or just make him lose some lives. But Nikitin's just going constant blues for eco right now, and there's nothing either player can do to each other to damage them right now. But yeah, there's really not much they can do. So it's round 6, and will both players get up the Ring of Fire on round 6? Tricosaurus does, and Nikitin will probably get hit up on round 8 because those Buccaneers can defend blacks and greens pretty well, but they cannot defend against the yellows that well, so he will have to get up that Ring of Fire. So Nikitin's still sending some income, but only blues, so he will be saving up a little bit. And Trico's just building up income. Will Trico send some yellows to force Nikitin to get up that Ring of Fire? I mean, Nikitin probably has enough for the Ring of Fire, even though he's still sending a lot of green and yellow income. He's secretly saving up, and yep, he had enough money right there. So for round 10, you do need a 0-0 ninja at the front on close, because if you put it on strong, and then the opponent sends yellows or leads, I mean not yellows, whites or leads, the ninja's gonna attack those instead of the natural balloons, which will lose you about 20-30 life maybe. So for round 13, on Zen Garden, players typically don't send Regal Rainbow Rushes unless they're like $10,000 Regal Rainbow Rushes that no one expects, just to catch the opponent off guard. But it is almost round 15, and that's the ceramic round. Now, similar to last game, Nikitin doesn't have that much camo ceramic defense, so will Tricosaurus send those? And it looks like he will. He's going to send, well, he has camo jack. Yep, he's sending those camo ceramics, because with Buccaneers, you need that camo upgrade on the Buccaneers, like I said in the Snowy Castle game. And he's going all out here on the camo ceramics. Will Nikitin defend this? He's down to 4 lives, 2 lives. Will he defend? No, he does not. And Nikitin dies once again to camo ceramics. Wow, I mean, I thought he would have learned his lesson from the previous game, but wow, dying to the same thing 2 games in a row. Well, I think Nikitin was just a little bit greedy right there. Instead of getting that Buccaneer upgrade or some more ninjas, he just kept going income, which cost him. I mean, maybe even a distraction could have helped. A distraction on the ninja. But I said it in the last game, you need camo ceramic protection. I said it in the first game in Snowy Castle. If you have Buccaneers, get the camo upgrade to defend against camos. So Nikitin did not do that, unfortunately. So we are tied 3-3 in this best of 7 series. So this last game, Game 7, will decide who is the winner of this tournament. It all comes down to one game. Let's watch that game. It has all come down to this. Game 7 in a best of 7 series of the finals of this tournament. And the map? Cards. So cards is just one of those maps that's just weird. I mean, it seems like, it's like almost, I don't even know how to explain it. The tower placements, they're not awkward. There are actually some really good tower placements on this map. Except for the attack shooter. I mean, there's not that many good spots for the attack shooter. But other than that, this map has really good tower placements. But the map, it's just short, and that's what leads to a lot of deaths on this map, especially regirls. On this map, regirls are really, really dangerous. And anyway, back to the game. Now, Nikitin has a ninja in a weird spot that I never really seen it in, but that's working really, really well, actually. And Trico doesn't have a ninja because he knows that Nikitin can't attack him with too many pinks, or else Nikitin's income will go to waste. So that's why Trico doesn't get a ninja around the back of the track to defend the pinks. But he does get up 2 ninjas in the front to defend against blacks. Because if you only have one ninja, then some blacks might come through, which is pretty dangerous. So both players are just getting up their income. And round 8 can be pretty dangerous if you don't have enough ninjas. Because if you layer regirl blacks, regirl whites, and some other random balloons here and there, then it can cause quite a bit of damage, especially on a map like Cards, where regirls are just amazing. Regirls work so well on this map, especially if you do not have Tag Shooter. But guess what? Nikitin has Tag Shooter. And that's actually in a really weird spot. I've never seen someone put a Tag Shooter there, but that actually looks really good now that I think of it. It prevents regirl farms, and it's also around the end of the track, so that works really well. On round 10, both players got up their Burning Stuff Mortars in time, because especially on a map like this, if you do not get up your Burning Stuff Mortar, you will possibly die to regirl threats. That's how dangerous they are. So round 13, if Nikitin does send some regirl rainbows against Trico, Trico might struggle because on a map like this, it's hard to defend regirl rainbows. But it looks like Trico and Nikitin are just both gaining their income. And both players have good regirl rainbow and regirl ceramic defense. So neither of them will rush, and they will just keep building up their income. So Trico will have to rush around round 20, because if he doesn't, he will struggle to defend late game. He doesn't have, well, I mean, he can defend he can defend up to round 30, but that's pretty much it. Because after that, the map is so short, and without a good fourth tower, you can't really defend that well. And he knows that Nikitin, not only does he have a fourth tower in Nikitin, but he's also a really, really good defender. So he will probably outlast Tricosaurus if Trico doesn't rush. So it looks like Trico has the regirl checked, and he sends some regirl rainbows, and that forces Nikitin to get up that ring of fire. So he gets up that ring of fire, and now Trico sends a Moab. So does Nikitin have any money to defend that Moab? Yes, he does. Wow, he got up that balloon Jetsu right away. So Trico's just consistently sending Moabs. So there's about 3-4 Moabs that he sent, and now he's going all out on regirl ceramics. But Nikitin has the Blade Maelstrom up. He gets up another Blade Maelstrom, and Trico sends a ton of camos under that, but Nikitin does a great job defending it. 4 Maelstroms in total. He gets with that Balloon Jitsu, and he successfully defends that rush. Trico selling everything, trying desperately to make Nikitin die, but with those Blade Maelstroms and Ring of Fire, he's successfully defending that, and Tricosaurus dies to the natural balloons after selling every single thing he had in a desperate hope to win this tournament. But he just fell short, and Nikitin is the grand champion of the Tournament of Champions number 2. He is 2-time champion of these Tournament of Champions. Really good player, Nikitin. He can defend. Well, he doesn't attack that much. He doesn't farm, but his defending skills are just so good. They're just so good that a player can't choose to outlast him, because Nikitin will outlast him. And if they choose to rush, Nikitin's just going to defend it. So I mean, he's really good. So let's replay that clip right there. So I mean, incredible micro skills. Great job to Nikitin. Wow, that was really good. I mean, I don't think that was the best rush that Trico could have sent, but I mean, he really had no choice. Nikitin was going to defend pretty much whatever Trico sent, because, well, Trico had to rush around round 20, and Nikitin knew that he had to, so he was just saving up a lot of money. And yeah, so really good job by both players. Congratulations to both, especially Nikitin. Great job, Trico, also. You played really, really well. Both players did really well. So, excellent job. And as always, leave a like if you enjoyed, and have an awesome day.